Hi guys, Ray here from Man City Fan TV. How you doing? Trying to do a live stream outside. See what the internet's like out here. Let's twist the camera just a little bit. Try and get it there. Just in the park where we used to live. And I don't know if I've come on a minute or two early. Just gonna get that. Hey Rory, how you doing, mate? First one, bang on. What's up, Ray? No, Dennis. I'm sound, mate. How are you? Hope you guys are doing well. Bang straight away, 9-10 people on. Fantastic. Great that you guys could join me for this live stream. Probably got about 30 minutes today, and I'm going to make sure it's 30 minutes. Hey, Reese, how you doing, mate? Fantastic to see you at on one of our videos at last. At long last, we've been waiting for it, and Andy got you on last night. E-King, hi Ray, how's it going? Hey guys, it's fantastic. I'm on my hauls, got one more day, and I think on Saturday, early Saturday morning, I'm gonna leave Paris and drive up to London for the FA Cup semi-final. Fingers crossed, I'm gonna try and get there for about 10 o'clock in the morning, probably a bit earlier, so I can have a bit of shut-eye, a bit of rest, and then get over to the game. Reese, your dad's telling you famous. Hey mate, just keep coming on, you know. People can surprise themselves as to what they can achieve, what they can do, and yeah, just keep you on the channel, Reese. I hope you have a good day there. Yeah, Chris, having a great time. Hey Sebastian, Sebastian from California. What do we know about California besides California raisins? Maybe you have to be a little bit older like me to remember them. But I've been in California, Los Angeles, and Disneyland as well. Had a great time, but that was about 20 years ago. Reese, is it always lovely in France? It generally is. I've got to be quite honest. I mean, I'm here now just about 15-20 minutes south of Paris itself. Hi Chris, how you doing, mate? And genuinely the weather's pretty decent. Just a bit chilly today, but it was very nice when we arrived on Sunday, Monday. Very sunny, very warm, but it's gonna just a little bit chilly now. But still, you know, you can walk around in a t-shirt. It's not too bad. So yeah, I mean, compared to the north of England, living around Manchester, you know, when we used to live here, I used to go around in t-shirts, and people used to think, "Ah, it's cold. How can you wear t-shirts?" And I used to tell them, "I'm from the north of England, man. You know, it's this is pretty much tropical compared to the north of England." So people were really surprised that you'd go around in a t-shirt, and yeah, they were wearing coats, but it's just the way it is. I mean, probably the weather is it's a lot better than where I live now. Probably looking at even 5 or 6 degrees better off all the time, and in summer. Can you say hello to Nick Gurr? He is a big fan. Hey Nick, how you doing, mate? Subscribe and get on one of our live streams. Another mate, decent win. Yeah, decent win last night. Reese, really impressed by De Bruyne. De Bruyne looked, for the first time this season, to me, De Bruyne looked primed. Chris, Paris is a great place to visit. De Bruyne, even though I don't think he was the same quality as last season, you know, he was still not the same as last season. I think that's just going to take hopefully just a couple more games, and he'll be bang on target like last season. But yeah, Reese, he was near his best. You could see, I think, just the feeling I got from watching him, the confidence he had, it felt like there were no niggles. And I think when he came back last time, it just didn't seem right. You know, he was so off his game, and he just didn't look happy, and he kind of felt he wasn't feeling happy. Mendy ready, King Company. What's he ready for? For dancing down the club? I don't know what Mendy's ready for. He's got to be ready. I mean, if he's throwing some moves out on the dance floor, he's got to be ready to play footsie. Seeing Jesus get some stick. Danny, poor old Jesus, he's got to score goals, and I think that's it. He hasn't built up that that bank of credit like Aguero has. Now Aguero can have 4 chances to score 1 goal, and we'll say and it could be a really great goal. Aishai, Mogadishu, massive. And if Aguero scores a goal, then and it's a great goal, we only remember the great goal. We don't forget the 3 goals he's missed. Now with Gabby Jesus, if he misses 3 chances, people get on his back, people remember it, and people are so quick to be negative rather than be positive. I've got to be quite honest. I'm worried about Gabby. I just don't think he's developing. He's having ups and downs, and partly that is because he's not getting enough games. I think that's it. If he was playing regularly all the time, like Aguero generally is, I think Gabby would feel more valued, and I think his confidence would go up again. And it just feels like if he misses 2 or 3 games, then his confidence drops. When he gets in for 2 or 3 games, his confidence picks up. I don't think he's playing badly. He's just not sharp enough in front of goal. That's it. And look, he's only 22. He's only 22 years old, so he's got plenty of time. Is Jesus the best replacement for Aguero? Well, Chris, I hope not for at least a couple of years. Maybe in 2 years' time he'll be better, but you just don't know. Yep, Dr. Selamat Datang. My welcome to you to all those people out in Indonesia. And he needs his confidence. And as I said a minute ago, he gets his confidence when he plays a few games, scores some goals, and then when he misses a few games, he loses that confidence. And it's just the way it is with him. And I don't really know what we can do to help him. Bro, it's Momo. Yo, how you doing, mate? And I think the difference is with Aguero, because he's much older. When he comes off the bench or he's missed a couple of games, he comes back and he's usually fine straight away. Foden, pretty good. You know, a good 8 out of 10 performance for me. If I've not answered your question, just pop it back up, because sometimes either they go through too quickly or I forget what the question was. Yeah, I wanted him to step up. He needs to. We need him. You know, if Aguero's out for any length of time, we need Gabby to step up. You know, there'll be other times when Pep will want to rest Aguero. We've got maximum, what's it, 14 games to go, and I don't think Aguero's going to play all 14. Hi, Assam Alek, how you doing, mate? I can't see him playing every game. Same team for Saturday, no chance. And when I saw that team out yesterday, I said this is pretty much a second string team. But okay, half and half. Gabby Jesus, yeah, that's it for Zwan. He needs a few games, get a few goals, get his confidence back, and he's a different kind of player. And I just think that's what he needs. He needs 2 or 3 games. He's not going to get them. That's the problem he has at City. Now, he might play at the weekend. It might be that Pep doesn't take a risk with Sergio, and he saves him for the Spurs game in the Champions League. Lucas Nemecha, that's it, King's Company. I think he started off all right. Hi, Robert, how you doing, mate? But he's not pulling up any trees. I'm not hearing his name regularly. Same as Jack Harrison at Leeds. You don't hear the names often enough. Drop points at down to no, Chris. I've got you down for a 2-0 or a 3-1 win. I think you'll get a 2-0 win out of that, Chris. So yeah, I actually think the word on the street is that's right, Danny. I think the word on the street is that Lucas's brother, Felix Nemecha, is rated far more highly, and he's more likely to go through. I mean, we said this before, no one, Robo Klopp versus the Gladiator, never heard that one before, John. It's a new one to me. But as we said before, no one comes back from loan to play for Man City. The game last night, Robert, it's actually, if you watch the prediction, the preview we did, I had too many questions, Reese, I'll answer yours. Fernandinho, he needs a couple of games, I think, Fernandinho to get back. Let's support Gabby, absolutely. Dr. C. Sebastian, he was terrific. Yeah, he worked really hard, and that's what I like about Gabby. You know, his head might drop just a little, but he keeps on busting a gut. And I just think we'll find out in the next year or two, has he got enough quality to take that next step? Or is he just going to be another Bobby Firmino? You know, works really hard, helps with the setup, but isn't great enough. Yeah, so if you watched the preview I did with Beth and the Cardiff fan, I said I can see us getting 2-0, possibly 3-0 up. I said 2-0 at half-time, and then we'll coast it. We'll take it easy, take our foot off the pedal, like we did against Fulham. I thought we might get another goal in the second half. I mean, we had enough chances, but we were not busting a gut. I think we kind of feel we've got enough of a goal difference. We're +9 better off than Liverpool, 6 games to go. You know, it's going to be very hard for Liverpool to make up those 9 games if we keep winning. Will Aguero be back, Tom? I don't know, actually, Tom. It could be that Pep rests him and saves him for the Spurs Champions League game. Can't get the game with his laugh. Danny, I think he made a couple of very good saves, but the rest of them, you know, they weren't I thought I wouldn't call them world class. I think he was just doing his job, but he made a lot of saves. Liverpool have to keep winning. City have to keep winning. If whoever wants to stay in that title race has to keep winning. It puts pressure on the other team. And right now, all you can do is focus on yourselves and win. Tom, I think Sergio would have got at least a couple of goals yesterday. It's a shame because he's my fantasy football captain. Foden was incredible, so much confidence. He looks comfortable, Reece. I think he looks far better in this Man City team, and I think most players would, than when he plays for the under-21s or anything else. If all he had to win on King Company, Premier League all day long. Foden, he's going to look better in this team, the Man City team, with the players he's got around him, like KDB, like Sane, and Mahrez and Bernardo and David Silva and Sterling and Aguero. You're going to look, you got the potential to look a lot better because they're doing a lot of, let's say, the work for you. When I see him play for the under-21, he's just not as good. He's still very good. Yeah, Robert, I'm in Paris right now, so I'm driving up early on Saturday morning to London, and I'll park up there, and then hopefully I'll get to the ground 4 or 5 hours before kick-off. Got some mates to meet at the ground as well. I think it's about 5 of us. The rest are coming down from Manchester, and I'm coming up from Paris. So I'll meet up with them, and yeah, have a few hours with them, chatting away, and I'll do obviously get some fans on video like this. I'm not sure we'll do live streams after the game. Yeah, Danny, I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate semi-finals at Wembley. It takes away some of the moments. It's an achievement. Playing at Wembley should be an achievement, and it should be something that you cherish. And if you're doing it, for a semi, I don't agree with that. FFP, not to worry about, Mark. Nothing. It's just a preliminary investigation. It's going to take a long time for anything to happen on FFP. I'm pretty sure of that. Spurs new stadium, I've not really seen much of it. And but it looks magnificent, but I think they're praising it to the rafters, which is some of the London-centric media will do. Yeah, Foden reminds me of David Silva. Yeah, Foden does. I think he probably has a better shot on him than or long-range shot than David, and I think he'll start taking over. As Pep said, he's going to play more games next season. He's played almost 1,000 minutes this season, which is about 11 full games worth. He'll play a bit more this season for sure. If we're lucky enough and play well enough to wrap up the title a couple of games early or a game early, I can see him starting the last couple of league games, and it'd be great for him. Give a chance to rotate and rest other players. Yeah, Reece. Well, I've not seen anything. I mean, I'll find out next week when I go to the Spurs new stadium. It's going to be very interesting. I'll have a chat with some Spurs fans that I know, and hopefully we'll do a video together. But very interesting to see what the Wi-Fi is like around there. Yep, Spurs will be well up for it. It's not all they've got left to play for this season, because they've got to get that top 4. And on one hand, if they'd struggled and dropped out at the top 4 and were probably not going to make it, then the Champions League would have been the only thing that they've got left. So on one hand, it's actually good that they're struggling, but they're still in the top 4. Prediction for Saturday Football Fan Chat. Like everything at the moment, 2-0 City. They got a big bar. Well, I think people have complained on many grounds that catering, food and drink at half time takes too long, and you got City fans complaining that by the time they get the food, the second half has already started. So it is an issue. First class Wi-Fi, Danny. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised, Danny, because look at Wembley. I mean, what Wembley do. Apparently they scramble it so you can't get a signal. I can't, I'm on a 4G phone, decent phone. I can't get a signal at Wembley. And actually after the game, you can't get a signal around the ground. Someone told me, hi Finland, how you doing, mate? Someone told me that the police, I think they block the frequencies or something, or scramble it somehow, and you can't get a signal. And actually when I was with the Tottenham fans for the league game, I couldn't get a signal around the ground. You have to go a little way away, Well, I hope Jesus will score against Brighton, maybe a couple of goals, get his confidence back. But yeah, you have to walk about 5 minutes away and suddenly bang, your Wi-Fi kicks in and you can send all your videos. So I'm not sure. King Company, well, I'm not sure exactly what the reason is. I think the police just for whatever reason, you know, for security reasons, you know, there's a lot of fans there, and maybe they're concerned that people will use Wi-Fi signals to cause trouble. You know, I don't know exactly what the reason is, but that was what was given to me by someone else. It was a TV channel or a YouTube channel or whatever they were. They were a bit, you know, there's a couple of guys there with nice fancy cameras and equipment, and they were telling me that we wouldn't get a signal, we wouldn't be able to send anything away, and we'd have to, you know, go somewhere else. I think was it recently PSG playing coming to City, Rabiot, no chance. Fulnaresh, Kumar, no chance. Robert Lang, you guys keep asking about how I met Andy. It was on Match.com. Rabiot, no, I don't rate him at all. No, I just cannot see him coming to City. You know, he's struggling. Actually, I think right now he's struggling to get anywhere. People, either he's asking for way too much money, but people are not getting anywhere. Yeah, Jesus misses a lot of chances. I just think he needs confidence. I mean, Mahrez is struggling with confidence. He's missing chances that he would have scored at Leicester. Signings this summer: left back, centre back, defensive midfielder, and a striker. I reckon 4 players. Salah and Ndombele for me. I've not seen enough of Salah. I've seen Ndombele a couple of times. And speaking to my friend who's a scout in France, you know, Ndombele all day long for me. He's got, from what I've seen, power. He's got pace. He reminds me of a Yaya Toure. Why centre back, King Company? Well, obviously Company's age and his injury problems. Otamendi possibly will go. I mean, if Barcelona come calling, I think he'll go. He wants more game time. And Eric Garcia might be coming through. Sandler, don't know how good he is. I think we want another young centre-back. Jesus, Harry Maguire, I'm not sure, Danny. I mean, he'll cost us an arm and a leg, and he'll expect to play every game, so I'm not sure. Yeah, we could be setting the bar too high for Jesus, but hey, you know, we're in that position where we're... I wouldn't put it that way, King Company. Let's try and keep it clean, mate. You know, if I was sat at my laptop, I'd have put you in timeout. Let's keep it clean, lads. Jesus, but he has to start, you know, delivering, because a team and a club like City, we're looking to win, looking for everything, to win everything. We've got to have players who can pretty much come straight in. Yeah, De Ligt. It was talked about last summer, Matthijs De Ligt. Sorry, the feeling is that he might be going to Barcelona. He wants to go there because of his mate, Frenkie de Jong, and obviously Barcelona are a big draw. Any PSG player you want to come to City right now? Kylian Mbappe. You know, I said it last season. Last summer we were interested. The year before we put in a bid for him. Apparently, PSG player. If I wanted anybody, it would definitely be Kylian Mbappe. Nobody else. I mean, he's got some development to do, but he's still already pretty much an awesome player, and he's what, 19 years old, 20 years old. He's got a long way to go. Reece Oxford, I can't see it, Juan. And if we go anywhere down to West Ham, we'll be looking at Declan Rice. Danilo had a decent game. Reece is a possibility, you know. I mean, I'm not sure what I'm not sure. Ask Mbappe. Well, I never met Mbappe. I think he was born not too far from me, but I've never met him. Now, we've got no problem, Dr. We've got no problem with FFP. Honestly, you guys, if we're going forwards, we've got no problems with FFP. Yeah, we need a holding defensive midfielder, but going forwards, we've got no problems with FFP. If we want to spend £200 million on Kylian Mbappe, we can do that without too much of a struggle. Believe me, we'll do that. You know, you'd probably get Puma coming along and say, we'll pay 50 million quid extra for to get him on our books. So, you know, it can happen. I don't know, King Company. I mean, I've not watched enough of Declan Rice to give a proper verdict, but you know, people who are better judges than me are saying he's very, very good. Making Tiefing Paris, pretty good. Well done, Chris. Now we can buy people. Don't worry. Honestly, guys, if City really wanted to throw out 300-400 million quid in the summer, I think they could. You know, you'll get deals like, as I said, Puma might come in and say, if you get Kylian Mbappe, we'll give you an extra 30, 40, even 50 million quid in your first year's sponsorship with us. When we're already paying you 50 million, they might turn around and say, we'll pay you 100 million, because Kylian Mbappe is so marketable. They'll make millions on the back of him. Absolute shed loads of money. So I can see, you know, other sponsors coming in and saying, we'll pay 5 million, we'll pay 5 million, we'll pay 5 million, because our profile is just going to keep going up and up and up. One of the greatest, most you know, kids in the world is at City. People are paying. We need a backup for Fernandinho, definitely. Yeah, I didn't see all those numbers. Yeah, but 200 million on Mbappe, 70 million on Ndombele. VAR, Robert Lang, yeah, absolutely. We need VAR. He looked at poor old Cardiff getting done over by the VAR. I mean, they could have won that game against Chelsea, and they'd be 2 points off Burnley, and they've got to play Burnley yet, and you know, they could get relegated because of that decision. Okay, you can argue it's not just one decision over a season, but quite possibly that decision cost them 3 points. So, you know, it's a major impact on their season, and they're down and deflated by it. Now, there's a question about where would Mbappe play if he was joined City, striker on the wing. I don't think he'd play a striker. I think he'd play on the wing, but he could play anywhere across the front three. I understand. I don't mind if we got Mbappe and lost Mahrez. I wouldn't cry about that. Yep, Andy Roweth, I thought it would sell out at 19. You know, there was people saying it might sell out a little bit more, but those tickets are going to be the hardest ones to get this season, I think, going at 19,000 points. No, Juan, I think we keep Mendy for one more season, unless Pep's sick and tired of his attitude and his off-the-field activities. Now, if you're buzzing on the field, if you're delivering week in, week out on the field, then you can possibly get away with some of your off-field antics. But if you're not delivering on the pitch, if you're injured and your attitude's not right, then that's got to bug Pep. It's got to bug him, and I can see why that could quite possibly be an issue to sell him. Mr. Smooth's back, another Liverpool fan. I'll tell you what, mate, that W isn't walk. Walk alone. After school study, Phil Mullane. Well, hey, ask me a question. Ask me any maths question. Up to for 11-year-olds, I'll answer. Exactly, Reese. Only Pep knows, and we don't know. You know, all these journalists, all these so-called wannabe influencers telling us that Foden should start, or that Pep's wrong, that he should be playing Foden, or he should be doing this and should be doing that. Let's be quite honest. Who the hell are they? Who the hell are we? How can any of us say anything about what Pep should do? Pep's shown his credentials, he's shown his cojones, he's shown what matters, and he's shown how good he is. You know, it's right now you cannot question Pep Guardiola. Thoughts on Khabib and Conor? Both idiots on Libre. Absolute. Let's be honest. I just think they're low life. You know, Khabib, he's done Conor. He embarrassed him. He, in effect, he humiliated him in the fight. Surely that's enough. Walk away. Walk away. That's got to be enough. You don't need to do any more. You know, you beat the man. The guy's on the floor. Just walk away. That's all that matters. Okay, let's talk about the seats. Empty seats. Look, I've said this. If you want to go and watch City home and away, and you're fortunate enough to be home and away, then it doesn't matter Sample, whatever Conor was, just ignore him. You know, you can walk away. Now, you know, I'm not going to go into too much. I take a lot of abuse on Twitter, and most of the time you walk away. Sometimes you will respond, but most of the time you walk away. It's not worth it. The people that are giving out a lot of abuse behind keyboards, they're not worth it. You know, they've obviously got a problem, whether it's low self-esteem, lack of confidence, or whatever. That's their problem. Why should I be worried about it? If they go too far, maybe you respond. But for general idiots, it's not worth it. Let them have their laughs. Let them have their fun. If they think they're big and hard and clever, you know, good for them. Midweek game against Cardiff. Yeah, look, that midweek game against Cardiff, it was given to us. Was it 2 weeks, 3 weeks? You know, in advance, so it wasn't already programmed to be there. It was an additional fixture. Now, and I'll give my example. You know, and my kids, we didn't go. even though it's school holidays, because we'd already booked to go away. United back in 6th, nowhere else, yeah. But Finland, look, you know, I'm going to ban you forever. I mean, really, it's just, what's the point? You just like, you know, being a kid. You know, we're here for good, sensible, amusing debate, not just ridiculous comments. Yeah, exactly, Danny. Empty seats. Look, and I'll give you my example, okay? School holidays. We'd already booked to go away. This was before the Cardiff game was popped in. Just behave yourself, guys. It's all meant to be a bit of fun, informative, and a laugh. So before the Cardiff game was popped in there, we'd already booked to go away, and I'm sure other people would have done the same. Maybe not a lot, but we had. And I can't really, after 3 days of going away, come back for a game and then come back to my family. Would you rather play for Brighton? I think some of them will be sample. Some will, you know, I can see Aguero being rested. You know, Pep's going to, you know, put a half first team, half second team out and hope to get through that game. So back to the tickets thing. So, you know, I give my tickets away and someone uses them. It's all great. But you can see people, it's getting tight, it's getting difficult. And as I said yesterday, if you want to go to all the games home and away, the tickets will cost you £2 grand. You've got travel and accommodation and everything else. You could be looking at another 2,000 or 3,000, especially if you follow your team to all the European aways. You know, they're not cheap, they're not free. And when you put everything together, it could be costing you £5 to follow your team home and away. Very, very expensive. And just the tickets going to London, it's not cheap. Hey mate, Phil, go back to study. I hope you're doing well wherever you're studying and whatever you're doing. It's not cheap to go to London. The cheapest, really, 30 quid a ticket, 20 quid travel, it's 50 quid already. Exactly, Reese. Spurs and Wembley. We don't have 2 fan bases. We don't have, you know, people, you know, hundreds of people jetting in from Norway or Sweden or Denmark or Ireland or wherever. You know, most City fans, and the ones that go to games, are local City fans who've been City fans for many, many years. Look, Chris, there are empty seats everywhere. When I was studying in Liverpool, I went to the Liverpool University. I used to go to Anfield sometimes. It wasn't full. You know, you go back to the 80s, it certainly wasn't full because you know, you could just walk in, pay your money at the turnstile, and go in. I used to go to, when I worked in London in the 90s. I used to go to a lot of London clubs, go and pay your money on the turnstile. They were never sold out. There were always tickets available. So, you know, it's only recently that people say, oh no, we're selling all our tickets and everything else. It's no, actually what has happened is recently your fan bases have increased. So as I said, late 80s, I would walk into Anfield without a ticket and just pay on the door. I would go to Highbury, pay on the door. I go to whichever club I wanted in London, pay on the door. Okay, and that was in the 90s, and it's only since the 80s and 90s and whatever the fan bases have increased and increased, and a lot of foreign fans are involved now, and they take up the slack. And it's happening at City as well, but it happens more so at United and Liverpool, and let's say Arsenal as well, because not because they're bigger clubs, but they've been having success for a lot longer. Their name is more out there. They were marketed more when the Premier League kind of exploded in popularity, and there's fans from all over the world who follow those clubs because they were winning at that time. Now you come back in 10 years time, if United have been struggling, if Liverpool have been struggling, they've not won any more trophies, and City are the dominant force, you'll find a lot of people supporting City just because we're winning games. Sorry, excuse me. So quickly, I've got 2 or 3 minutes to go. FFP, Robert, not to worry about. You know, it's not. Nothing's going to be. It's all right now. It's only an investigation. We've not been charged with anything. It's going to take probably months and months and months. So not to worry about. So empty seats. Don't worry about the empty seats. People cannot afford to keep going to games all the time, and not selling out Wembley. Look, you know, we sold out. Was it 35,000 tickets for the Carabao Cup final? We went to Fulham. You know, I went to Fulham. There's 3,000 City fans at Fulham. There's Palace, whatever it is, 3,000 sold out. And then there's the game at Spurs, another 3,000 sold out. Wembley semi-final, there'll be what, 25, 30,000. So, you know, it's 80, 90, whatever thousand tickets are sold in just a few weeks to come to London. It's a lot. And you know, City fans, like Reece has said, you have to make a choice. You know, do you want to pay a lot of money to come to London, or do you want to go to the Spurs Champions League game at home? 6 games, Reece. What worries me the most? They all do. You know, we could lose any game. We could lose any game. You know, Burnley away, they're fighting against relegation. It's going to be tough. Palace away, always a bit of a bogey team. You know, United away, you know, anything can happen at United away. I think we got Brighton away last game of the season. Another tough one. Spurs at home. I mean, Spurs at home is not a walk in the park. So, as I said before, we've shown against Newcastle, against Leicester, against Leicester, and we lost one other one on the road. Crystal Palace, we lost at home. So we showed in those games that anybody can beat us. Anybody can beat us, Reece. We're in the right mood though. We're in the right mood. We're coasting a bit, but we're doing what we need to do. And in the last couple of games, we've done it very, very early. Yeah, Wolves we drew, well, it was handball goal that, but we've got the goals early, and we've coasted the second half. So I think that's great for us. And it just depends how teams play. I mean, I think Palace will come at us. I think Palace will do what Swansea did. So I'm expecting them to be a bit more adventurous than, let's say, Cardiff were last night. It's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be, you know, this 14 games, did we say? We've got 6 league games, is that right? 2 in the FA Cup maximum, that's 8. 2 in the Champions League, 2 in the 5. So that's 13 games maximum. Burnley will come. We'll see, Danny. We'll see. You know, Burnley might be happy to get a draw because it depends on what they do against Cardiff. If Cardiff beat Burnley, then Burnley, you know, might want to get a win against us. If Burnley beat Cardiff, then Burnley might be on already on holidays, because right now Cardiff are 5 points behind. If Burnley beat Cardiff, Cardiff will be 8 points behind, and I don't think they're going to catch up 8 points in 4 or 5 games. And Burnley might relax and think they're safe. So, I mean, actually, what you want is Burnley to beat Cardiff and Cardiff to, you know, play. Yeah, absolutely, Reece. Burnley aren't as good as last season, but I think my point is quite valid. If Burnley feel safe, if they're 8 points clear of Cardiff with 4 games to go, maybe they won't bust a gut to beat City. Maybe, you know, they'll relax. They'll take it easy because they're already safe. Burnley's still a good team, but we'll see what happens, guys. My time is up. I've got to go and go to my mother-in-law's. Got to have some something to eat at my mother-in-law's. Then we're going out this evening to see some friends. This is what it is when you come back to where you used to live after a few months. And then you go and see, you know, everybody wants a meal with you, everybody wants a cup of coffee or whatever. Will City do the quad, Robert? I still say there's 13 games to go, and we could lose any of them, and we could, you know, we could win nothing else this season, and we could win everything, and it's very tense, it's very nervous, but it's also bloody exciting. So you guys, you know, enjoy what happens, and whether we win it, whether Liverpool win it, you know, whoever wins the league will have deserved it. Doctor, thanks. Terry Makase, Doctor. Terry Makase. Remembering my Bahasa Malay, and it works pretty well in Indonesia as well. So, guys, yeah, it's been a great. I've had a really good chat with you guys. It's been very good, very interesting. And see you, Robert, see you, Chris, see you Sebastian. And the time goes just like that. You know, we've done 30 odd minutes, and it's just like that. It feels like 2 minutes. So I've got to thank you guys, and I will thank you, because generally it's a lot of fun chatting with you guys. You're putting forward some great questions, and most of the time you guys are bang on, and no one's really out of order anymore. And it's nice and clean. It's a lot of fun. See you, Reece, and we'll see you guys around. Tomorrow is Friday, so I'll try and do a live stream, see what Andy's up to. If he's not working tomorrow, or not working as much as he's doing now, maybe he'll do something tomorrow. But we'll, you know, do as much as we can for the FA Cup semi-final. And see you, Danny. Fingers crossed. We'll have if I don't speak to you before Saturday, guys, fingers crossed we have a good game, good performance, and everybody gets home safely. Ciao.